I would like to find out if, say, a local pharmacy or someone else who has to have an OBNDD registration would have to go through these certificate of occupancy processes or even submit it on their OBNDD application. I don't know. Maybe it'd be a fun experiment to just go through another application and see what's required.
Well, let's just put the kibosh on that right now. I have clients that I have one that's a dentist that has to get an OB&DD. I had one that was a doctor. No, they absolutely don't. And they were completely baffled by this. And honestly, I think that the narrative that a lot of agencies are trying to put out is that marijuana business people are less professional than others. And I will tell you that the most confused clients that I have are the doctors and the dentists. They didn't have to go through this, and it makes no logical sense to them. So I think that, if we just want to put that situation to bed right now, we can.
Right. And I guess, to that note, maybe an agency argument on this could be, well, these marijuana grows have XYZ risks for fire, et cetera, that maybe a dentist office or a pharmacy does not. Or maybe these structures are a little bit more questionable as a whole than a pharmacy on the corner of a main street in a town in Oklahoma.
I understand that the policies were backed by the agency stating that this was a life safety issue, that there were dangers associated with these specific uses. And I remember pulling all of the articles last year of anytime that anybody with the OBN, the AG, the governor, the fire marshal's office addressed this. And I think that they cited, there were like 11 to 13 fires, but only 3 of those were in licensed facilities. So from a functional standpoint, you have to question, like, are we really enforcing true risk here? And again, OBNDD doesn't oversee restaurants and liquor distributions, but let's just talk about it from a state standpoint, because it's being backed by the governor and the AG's office. I mean, a restaurant's got how many people sitting in it, and they've got grease traps and vent hood issues. And if you've driven through rural Oklahoma, I mean, we've seen some really interesting applications of, we'll call it, lack of building code in some of these places, right? And that's just always been what it is. So if I'm addressing it from a safety standpoint, okay, so grows don't have the public coming in them. A lot of them in rural areas are just worked by families. And then let's even get into the dentist office. Like the laughing gas is more dangerous.
Right. And education is a big piece on and everything, to bring cannabis out of the shadows as it becomes more acceptable and it becomes more integrated into the legal marketplace. And there's just an inherent conflict when you have an agency that has historically enforced or viewed cannabis from a criminal perspective that is now issuing business permits. So, the scrutiny being on one industry in particular does not surprise me, that said.